on this video. So those of you who are trying to go into this more low, no carb lifestyle, maybe a little keto, and Fast Like a Girl I talked about ketobiotic, these are some snacks you're gonna wanna incorporate, and some of them are gonna surprise you. So let's dive in and really unpack how do you know what some of the best no carb foods are. Here we go. First, I want to talk about how you choose a food to eat. I think it's like, I'm going to give you this list, but then it's just a list with a bunch of names on it until you actually get like a formula for how do you make sure that you choose good foods. And I do want to say that there's a lot of no carb foods that are full of toxic ingredients. So these foods are not full of toxic ingredients. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about how do you make them as clean as possible, but there's so many keto foods out there that have now become processed junk, and I don't want you to fall prey to those. And there's a lot of sugar-free foods that are filled with cancer-causing chemicals, and some of those chemicals are obesogens. So you start going down this path of like, I'm gonna go keto, I'm gonna go no sugar, only to find out you're just packing pounds on because you got a bunch of chemicals. So when I sit to choose what to eat, and this literally is like every single time I put something in my mouth, I ask myself one question. I ask myself, am I eating this because I just like the taste of it? Or am I actually eating this for health? Is there a reason for it? And sometimes I'm like, no, I'm just eating it because I really want to taste it. I'm going to get a good little dopamine hit. And that's an okay answer, but not every single time. So if you ask yourself that question every single time you put something in your mouth, why am I eating this? Am I eating it for health? Am I eating it for taste buds? I should probably throw in boredom. Then you at least start to see your habits a little bit differently. Now, with that in mind, hopefully many of you know that I like no carb living, just not all the time, even for men. Okay, so men listening, this involves you. For women, I just want to point out, this is what I talked about in Fast Like a Girl, about how we need to cycle this keto-esque approach to dieting. We can't do it over and over again. And I just want to say one thing on that, because I'm reading your reviews on Amazon, and it's profound. And a lot of you have like messaged me, and it's profound how many women are starting to get their cycle back by stepping out of no carb, low carb living at the right time of your cycle. So it's blowing me away, and thank you for those of you who have left amazing stories about it, and I'm reading them, I see them. So with that in mind, here's where we're gonna go. These are 9 of these foods, and again, I can't wait to see what you think of this list. Canned skipjack tuna. Okay. Where are my heavy metal experts out there? Come on, some of you are like way into heavy metal detoxing. You are like, Dr. Mindy, you've gone crazy. Like, you're telling me that tuna is packed with mercury, but not skipjack tuna. Skipjack tuna has the lowest amount of mercury of all tuna, and tuna is packed not only with protein, but it is packed with omega-3s. And omega-3s are not only great for brain health, but they're really important for cellular health. And remember, on the outside of our cells, go back and watch all my videos. Hopefully you'll see, those of you who've been hanging around here for a while, that my videos all link to each other. I teach you like I was a professor of a course, and none of these videos stand by themselves. They all link to each other, and I've done a lot on cellular healing. So the outside of our 72 trillion cells is all good fat. So when we bring something like skipjack tuna into our diet and give our body omega-3s, we are help nourishing the outside of the cells, allowing things like hormones and nutrients to get into the cell better. So, and then we're adding in great omega-3s to nourish the outside of that cell. Amazing, right? And it's packed in protein, which is going to help stabilize your hunger. It helps with weight loss. I can't say enough. The one thing I will tell you and warn you is watch the oil that skipjack tuna is put in, because you want it in olive oil. So otherwise now you've undone everything I just said. So, okay, that's number 1. Are you ready for number 2? I know you guys are gonna die when you hear me say this. Baked pork rind. Okay, before you all go running off to your convenience store and you go and you get the pork rinds that are commercially made, there is a good version of pork rind here. So, and it's no carbs. This is what, remember, that's the title of this video, no carbs. So baked pork rinds are high in collagen. Okay, that's great for those of us women over 40. Remember, as you lose estrogen, you lose collagen, which is why all these wrinkles show up. So when we are eating pork rinds, they're pork skin skin, there's a lot of collagen in there. So skin has this collagen capability when we're eating it, animal skin. So, but here's the thing, is that most pork rinds are deep fried in lard, not good. But there is a brand that is amazing. And hopefully you can find it. Before I did this video, I looked it up on some of the larger websites. I know we have a worldwide audience, so you can probably find it on your larger website. There is a website that begins with an A and ends in an N, and it was on there, and it is Epic. The Epic brand makes a baked pork rind, so no harsh oils in there, and with a non-chemical injected pork. So that would be an amazing snack for those of you that are trying to bring your carb load down. And I know, like some of you, I just want to point out where all my plant-based people are. You probably already left this video, but there are some plant-based ones coming in here, so stick with me for a second. The next one, hard-boiled eggs. Literally, probably one of my favorite things. I have eggs in my refrigerator all the time. We are big fans of a lot of different types of eggs, duck eggs. Just today, a couple hours ago, I broke my fast with 3 really big duck eggs. And so hard-boiled eggs are not only carb-free and nutrition and packed with protein, but if any of you heard the discussion I had with Jim Quick on the Resetter podcast, we talked about how to superfoods for the brain, and eggs were one of them. Eggs are packed with choline, and choline is this super macronutrient that helps with brain health. So, and hard-boiled eggs, the other thing I like about hard-boiled eggs is like they come with their own little package. So it's like it has a little shell, and you get to carry it with you. You don't always have to, like, you know, put it in a special container. Just saying, it's nice and convenient. Make sure, though, if you are getting an egg, the best is pasture-raised eggs, because those chickens, if it's a chicken or a duck, they're allowed to roam. They feed on a wild diet. They're not being given a grain-fed diet, so or a corn-fed diet. So just FYI. Okay, next one. Ready? Plant-based people, I'm coming to you. Hang with me for a moment. The next one is bacon. So bacon, the first thing you have to do is you have to make sure it's sugar-free. So otherwise now the carbs have gone up. And you want to make sure it's pasture-raised, because now that pig's been out on wild, and the omega-3 fatty acids are high. But the thing about bacon, and just even, I should have probably said this on the pork rind, but if you look at bacon is more, you get the complexity of healthy omega-3, 6, and 9. So you're getting those great omegas to nourish the outside of the cell, to nourish your brain, whereas the pork rinds have all this collagen in it on top of all the omega-3s. So bacon, phenomenal treat for those of you who are trying to stay no carb. Okay, next one is definitely my favorite. I promise, if you told me I could have one food, in fact, Tom Bilyeu asked me this when he brought me on Impact Theory. He was like, one food, you could have one food on a desert island, what would it be? It was this one. Ready? Avocado. Love avocado. So now, an avocado technically isn't carb-free, but I had to put it in there. A whole avocado. Try eating a whole avocado and then tell me if you're hungry afterwards. Only has 2 grams of carbs in it. Really low. But guess what else it has in it? An avocado has fiber in it. So fiber helps to kill hunger. You got all that good fat, so it goes up into the brain to kill hunger, which is amazing when you're trying to go more low carb or no carb. It also has a ton of anti-inflammatory carotenoids in it, which is amazing, and it has a dozen different vitamins and minerals. I think it might be nature's most perfect food. So if you're not eating avocados, I highly recommend it. Guacamole works too. Okay, next one, buttered coffee. Yep, we love our buttered coffee. We love it in our fasting window. And if you haven't tried buttered coffee, it's kind of like a food. I'm not gonna lie. It's like, if you saw my coffee in the morning, very much like food. It's like butter, MCT oil. I even found these things recently at my Sprouts that was like this little fat bomb that I just put in my coffee in the morning. It's got collagen in it. It's super cool. In order to keep it low carb, what you put in it matters, right? So if you're putting butter in it, it's pure fat, so there's no carbs. Putting MCT oil in it, amazing, no carbs. Once we start putting cream in it, the carbs go up. Oat milk, hopefully you all know I don't like oat milk. Oat milk, carbs go way up. Even almond milk, carbs will start to go up. So be careful of the cream. I'm saying buttered coffee. I'm not saying buttered cream coffee. So I want to point that out. And if you like it sweet, you can lean into stevia. I don't like it, but I advocate for those of you that like the taste of it. It's great for keeping those carbs down. I just don't like the taste of it. But monk fruit, I like monk fruit. I find monk fruit's really enjoyable. So if you need to have a little sweetener, put one of those 2 sweeteners in it. Okay, next one. This is a childhood favorite. Oh my gosh, my mom used to make, I'll tell you how she made this. So let me tell you it first. Okay, I gotta interrupt this video because I have a free guide for you so you can master fasting. It's called A Beginner's Guide to a Fasting Lifestyle. And all you've gotta do is click here and you can jump right in. Cottage cheese. Now, why cottage cheese? So cottage cheese is really interesting compared to other cheeses because it's high in protein. And protein matters, especially those of us that are going into these lower carb states. We gotta increase protein. It's not like all of a sudden you can be like, I'm gonna take the carbs out and then it's hard to lean into fat all the time. You gotta lean into another macronutrient. And that's why I love the protein-rich macronutrients. And when we look at dairy, cottage cheese has the highest amount of protein. So again, if you could do it grass-fed, that's the best because now anything grass-fed has a more diverse amount of omega-3, 6, and 9 fatty acids into it. So that's really great. And I'll tell you the way that my mom made it as a kid, and every time I eat it, I feel like I'm 6 again, maybe 7. She would cut up really good cherry tomatoes, put them in sprinkle some salt on top of it with a little bit of pepper, and that was like the snack I had when I came home from outside. I was lucky to grow up in one of those neighborhoods where we played outdoors and then came in. So there's a lot you can do with the cottage cheese to make it wonderful. But if you want it completely no carb, keep it in its pure form. Okay, last 2. Now this one is really awesome, and I don't think we highlight this enough. It's beef jerky. Okay, the reason I wanted to put beef jerky in here, now this isn't, be careful with beef jerky because it can have some sweeteners in it, just like the bacon can have some sweeteners in it, and then now anything with the sweetener in it is gonna raise that carb count. So, but here's what's really cool about beef jerky. It has 7 to 10 grams of protein per ounce. So an ounce is like a big piece of jerky. So when we're trying to get in 1 gram of protein per body weight, and we're trying to do it within our fasting lifestyle, we got to find some really protein-packed resources, and I find beef jerky an incredible door into a higher protein diet. So I got beef jerky in like bags and bags of it in my pantry, and it's my go-to often to break a fast. If I'm working or I'm writing, I'll grab one real quickly and a bag and just start munching on it. It's a great snack that's packed with protein. Okay, last one. There's another one we do not talk enough about. It doesn't get enough credit. Ready? It's the olive. The olive is literally the ketogenic hero of the day. And you know who knows that? Valter Longo. Dr. Valter Longo, one of the greatest fasting researchers that we've seen and has brought us the power of the 3-day water fast. He also brought us the fast mimicking diet. And any of you that have followed his plan and his product know that one of the things in there are olives, because olives are the near perfect food. They're high in polyphenols, so they feed the microbiome, and they have no calories and no protein, so they keep you in autophagy for those of you that are following my fasting principles. And so no carbs, no protein, high in fat, no calories. You could eat the whole jar. And because they're so high in fat, they kill hunger. The other thing we know is they have fiber in it, which helps balance blood sugar, and they increase your good cholesterol, and they bring down your blood pressure. Pretty awesome food. So there you go. If you're looking for some no carb, low carb-ish treats, there's a whole good amount of them. Sometimes we all get this. We get stuck in our ruts with our food. So hopefully this will pull you out of it. Here's what I want to know from you. Which one's your favorite? Put it in the comments. I want to know which one your favorite is, because you might teach me something. And maybe how do you prepare it? And everybody put your recipes in. Let's share. We are a community here on YouTube. And as always, I want you to be healthy. I am cheering you on. I want you to keep believing in yourself, and I hope that helps. If you love this video, I did a great video called Should You Eat Eggs Every Day for Breakfast? So you need them to make things like serotonin and dopamine, the neurotransmitters that give us a good mood balance, make us happy, make us calm, give us joy and satisfaction. The precursors for those neurotransmitters are all inside this little egg.